Hi everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to start the Lapbook series. I think Patricia from Le Cafe Craft, I think she calls it the super duper best ever lapbook. But this is her deconstructed lapbook series, and I will leave the link to the playlist on Patricia's channel below. I'm going to be using a different size book, of course, and I'm going to, this is my book right here. It's a Time Life bird book. I have cut off the spine, and so now it looks like this, just a spine and all of the pages. Lots of fun birds in there. I forgot I had this book, but this cover measures, well, it's about 8 3/4 wide and 10 3/4 tall, and I thought that would work nicely for what for the lap book. So I have taken these and I have used my walnut distress stain, the walnut distress ink walnut stain, and just done a direct to paper all the way around, just in case something doesn't, match up perfectly, and we'll probably add more ink as we go. I do have to cover this though, because there's like bugs and animals on these pictures. I don't know if you can see them. They're very faint, almost transparent. There's a otter, but yeah, I don't want that. So put those aside for a moment. I'm using a very heavyweight craft paper, and the label is gone. Otherwise, I would tell you what it was. I bought this on Amazon. I will try to remember to look it up, but it's thicker than the one I bought last time. It's just slightly lighter than a cereal box weight. So this is what I'm going to use for our spine. And I only need to, Patricia used a file folder. I don't have a craft file folder, so I'm using craft paper. I did not want to use the manila folder for this because I'm going to be using the Haberdashery by Paper Studios, and I just love this collection. Very dark and grungy, and I think it will lend itself. I'm not fond of the glitter pages. This one's okay, but I think it'll lend itself to some fun pages for this project. So I am going to follow along with Patricia. So this is going to be multiple parts. Maybe not 16 parts. I'm not going to do an introduction, so we're down to 15. I probably will do a flip through at the end, but it won't be as detailed because we're going along. So let's say 14, 15 parts maybe, but I'll try to keep them down to a minimum length of time. So I don't need this yet. The first thing we need is the measurements for, and I do have a bunch of this packing paper because I love that technique that she did in between the spine pieces. So I am going to use this. This will be the length of my spine. So as my book measures 10 3/4, I'm going to make this 10 3/4 because you want your spine to be the same. Okay, and I'm just going to go on this, side of the line. So, yep, it's right at 1/4 inch. Okay. Then I am going to, and this is going to depend on your book. I know how my book comes out because I made a prototype and I had a 1/2 inch left over, so I'm just going to cut that off right here at the beginning. And I'm glad I did the prototype because I made some mistakes, and you won't have to endure them. So now I need my scoreboard. and double check that I'm already down to 20. I'm already down to 22 minutes. I'm trying to keep them at 30, but we'll see. All right, so we're going to start at 1.5, and we are going to go until we get, so this measures 8, and I want 1.5 on that side. So we're going to start at 1.5 and go to every 1/2 inch until we get to 6.5. I'm not seeing very well in this light. And 6.5. And that is 11 score marks. Okay, so that gives me 1.5 inches on this side, 1.5 inches on this side, 11 score marks, 1/2 inch apart. Now I'm going to go ahead and flip this completely over and repeat that process, just so this is an extra thick, not chipboard, but oops, jump the track, extra thick craft paper. If yours is not that thick, I chose this on purpose because it's a little bit, I feel like it'll be sturdy. And if yours is not this thick, you don't want to go through it. You want to make sure you're just barely breaking those fibers so that it can fold for you. Okay. So I'm going to fold this in half, like that. Get rid of my scoreboard. I'm going to use my bone folder. I'm going to fold this in half, and then I'm going to lift up the next one, burnish that, flip it over. I'm going to fold up this one. And this is my center. Okay, we want to leave 1/2 inch between each. So these two will be our next one, next mountain, and these two will be my next mountain. So let's see if we can get in between there, like so. Oh, it's wanting to fold on that. Where I jumped the track. Okay. All right. I'm going to burnish this. Pinch, and I'm going to burnish both ways. Okay. Let's do this one. Just kind of get it started. There we go. In fact, it might be easier if I just fold it all the way over and then fold this back. That's what I did with the middle one. Okay, so fold this. How did I do that? Fold this over. Yeah. There we go. So now we have this one needs to bend this way first. Okay. Now we have our 3 ridges here. Okay, now there's an extra score line on this side that's 1/2 inch apart, and that tells us where we're going to line up our covers. So our this is going to get glued here like that, and it will be on the outside. So probably want to fold that and score that one as well while we're at it. Like I said, this is a little on the stiff side. Yes, so this is the inside. These are going to be attached to the cover, I believe, on the outside. Yeah. But either way, this needs to be burnished. Okay. So at this point, we want to add our ink or whatever we're going to distress with. I think I'll try this. I'm not sure how well this will take on here, but we'll see. Not too bad. I think I'll go ahead and, yeah, see, it's already given it up. My ink pads, by the time they get to me, are never juicy. So I need to remember to buy I guess it's just too dry here in California, but I need to remember to buy the re-inkers because I almost need to re-ink them the moment I get them. So, okay. Probably could have used my other, I thought the ink would be darker than the oxide. So I'm going to do the ends. And I'm not sure, but I think I'll go ahead and do this piece as well. Can't hurt, right? And I don't think that this is going to show. I think this is the side that's going to show here that needs to be inked. Just direct to paper, kind of fun. Not a lot, just a little, just so you know it's there. I tried going and huffing on it. That doesn't really help. I need to let the ink get down. I think the cardstock or the craft card is very fibrous, and so it has a tendency to absorb everything rather quickly. So there you go. All right. I don't think we need to do any of that because that's our spine and it's going to get covered with fabric or tissue or something at the end. So I think I'm wondering if I should go ahead and cover this with glue and do that crinkle paper. I've got this here. So basically, let me get my other ink pad. I think this one might be a little juicier. And yeah, let's do this. I've already wrinkled it up and it's got some holes in it, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful. But I think this might be well, maybe I'll glue the ridges together first while this is drying, because you can see I've got ink everywhere. Yeah, and when I crumpled it up, it made holes here. I thought maybe it was perforated, but it's not. It's not perforated. I must have just been not gentle. So I'm going to let that dry for a second, and the oxide is so much tackier than the regular ink. Alright, so I'm going to glue the ridges together. So we're going to pull up the middle one. I think I'm going to use my big bottle here of Fabri-Tac. Oh, it's got a thingy in there. I haven't opened to this one yet. There we go. Get rid of that. And that way I won't have to wait because I did not refill my bottle. Alright, so pinch and lots of glue. So I don't want it oozing all over the place, but I want enough in there that this will be completely one piece. So it came out the end. And that's okay, because you want this to be, well, laminated. You want one piece to be attached to the other. I got some coming out. And you noticed it popped right back open. I got a little bit too much in the middle, but that's okay. We can get that off. So it's cold, and one of the things about Fabri-Tac is that it has acetone in it, and the acetone is cold. Once the acetone evaporates, the temperature will change, and you'll know that your glue is stuck. So I'm pinching these ends. I want them to be, hopefully you can see that. I don't want to be able to see a hole in there. I want that to be one piece. Okay? So just want to play with it. Takes a second. And if you're using white glue, even tacky glue, whatever, just take your time. It will, especially if you're using any kind of craft, it'll take longer to stick. Okay? Alright, so now I'm not worried about any of this because, I mean, I could rub it off, but it's, oops, I want to make sure that stays. It's going to be covered, so it doesn't matter what it looks like on the back, okay? But I just want to make sure that this flap is good and stuck. Alright, let's do the next one. And this comes out way faster. That's why I ended up with that little overage. It comes out way faster than the other. So maybe I'll pinch all the way down here like this. Then I can see where I'm missing glue. Yeah, see, now I can see where I need to add a little bit more, because I do want that to be good and stuck. Okay, so pinch. I have glue on my hands, so that's what I'm rubbing off of here. Okay. This is fun. I have so enjoyed watching Patricia's videos. She makes me laugh right out loud, and yeah, it just so enjoyable. So if you have not gone over to watch any of Patricia's videos, you should do yourself a favor and head over there. She is, I would just want to hang out with her all day. She is hilarious. Okay. I got a bunch. All right, let's do, just double check that the ends are not open. I want to make sure that glue goes all the way to the end. Okay, let's do this last one. Let's pinch it again like I did before. That's the easiest way to see where you have an abundance of glue. Just go down and then let it pop open, because it oozed out the ends, so that's what I got all over me. But it looks like I got that one pretty good. Alright, it has a tendency to curl, which is normal. Get it off my fingers as I pull it out, but that way it's glued all the way to the end, and we don't have to worry about that coming undone. That is one of the reasons that I don't use double sticky tape. I know a lot of people, if you feel like it works where you are, go for it. It is a lot faster, but where I live, everything is so dry. We're in a drought situation most of the time, and double sticky glue or double sticky tape, even score tape, the good stuff, red line tape, doesn't matter. it does not last. I have projects that I've made that I've had to just get rid of because they just fall apart. And you put all this time and effort into this, you don't want it to fall apart. Okay, so I have a lot of glue mess back there, but I'm not worried about that. Okay, so there is our spine. Now, the next thing is, get rid of this knife so I don't accidentally cut myself. We want to take this paper and glue it down on top of this and then kind of rip it off and make a texture with it. So we're just going to go. I have done this with like dictionary paper, and that's fun. But no rhyme or reason here on the gluing. You're not trying to make it stick permanently. You're just want it to stick enough to add a texture. So I'm just going to do that. I am going to kind of fold them over and make a very big gluey mess with my fingers and then rub it off. I have a trash can right here. I'm going to rub it down into the trash because it's like rubber cement. It gets everywhere, sticks to everything. And now I can start on this. So I'm just going to come from one end and wrap around, hopefully. We'll see how we do. And go in there. Go in there, hit that piece. I probably should have not done all this glue at one time because I'm not as quick as Patricia did hers, but I think it'll be all right. Okay, and then we have that last one. Okay, use my bone folder. Let's get the lid on. So I'm going to get that right up in there. Oops. That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay. Let's go back and pinch. And pinch. And if it comes apart, that's okay. We want it to dry before we get our bone folder in there. Okay. Just play with it. It's still very wet, and I don't want it to rip when I'm, well, I mean, it's going to rip either way, but this one's still really wet. I put a lot of glue on that side. Okay, so I'm going to come along the edge here and here. And like I said, we're going to pull some of this up, so it's going to tear like that, and that's okay. Because we're going to tear it off anyway. And back this way. Okay, I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I think it has been long enough and dry. It should be dry enough that I can kind of rip some of this off that doesn't have glue on it. Okay. And I did kind of tear off the bottom because I'm just tearing from this side now. And I tore off this side because I wanted to test it. So, just gonna tear off, see if there's anything. I think I glued it down pretty good, so nothing really wants to come off, but which is fine. Okay, a little bit. A little bit come off. I don't want to I don't really want to remove the whole thing. See if there's anything up here that's ripped. You know, I think what happened is I did really good. If I come in here with my bone folder, might be something where, you know, it's just not all the way flush up against that. Kind of, I think I put it on a little better maybe. Okay, so now I have a little piece here. Okay, there we go. There's a piece. That didn't have glue on it at all. That's odd. Everything in here looks really attached. So I had more glue on this side than this. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to leave it with this, and then maybe I'll come in here with a little more of this. It's not really going to matter once we punch the holes and everything. I don't know. Maybe I didn't do it correctly. You guys can watch. Maybe I let the glue dry too long. You guys can watch Patricia's video and see what you think. So I put too much glue on this side. I have nothing lifting here. I'm trying. Let's see if I use my little embossing tool. See if anything will lift up. Nah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's just this one here. And I don't want to, you know, damage it. So I'm just going to come in here and in here. That works. And I'm going to put all of this stuff toward the bottom. All right. So the next step is to, I don't save all these little pieces. I have a bunch of this. Every time I get a package, I get another wad of it. Okay, so I'm going to punch holes, and I made myself a little template somewhere. Where is it? Here it is. I did this before I measured my book, so it's a little short. Did I not cut all the way? Or no, you know why? Because I originally cut off a 1/2 inch so it would measure on the inside of my book for the matting, and that was not the right measurement. So this is shy about 1/4 inch, about 1/8 inch top and bottom. But what I want to do with this is use it as a template. So I took the piece that was the length, the height of the, well, it's shy, but it should be the height of this, so it should be 10 3/4 inches, and fold it in half, and then fold it in half, and then fold each one of these back, and that will give you 7 for mine. That way you don't have to have a particular measurement. I like them evenly spaced. I'm going to do 7, 6, and 7, and that's why I have this on here. So I'm going to go ahead and punch these. I'm going to do this with the 1/8 because this is going to be a template. And yeah, I don't have eyelets this size, but I just want to draw on there where the holes are going. You don't have to be that precise if you don't want to be, but I want to be. You do want to make sure that, and I got to be careful not to pinch my finger, you do want to make sure that your eyelets, I'm going to use eyelets, you want to make sure that your holes are staggered. So on this side I have for 6, and on this side I have for 7, and all I did was go in between. I did not measure these, I just eyeballed it, so this will be the other side. I don't know why it's not punching. That one I messed up. I've got some hanging chads here. Alright. There we go. They're not exactly perfect, but they will do. So, I'm going to do the 7 side first. I think I'm just going to lay that down like this. Try and get that off. You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna come in here like this with the paper. Yeah, see, there's a piece that right there that's lifting. And I think what happens is you keep finding pieces that kind of let go while you're working with it. So I don't want it to come completely off, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, because I got a piece there too. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to mark my holes. And like I said, I'm going to come in about 1/8 of an inch because mine was shy. And is this the 7 size? Yes, it is. So I'm just going to fold that over and mark those down. Pencil behind me. Alright, so I want this one, and these are the ones that are on the lines. I feel like I missed one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, that's right. Alright. And I'm going to do this one on this side. Flip it around. And I want, what did I say? I want this to be the top. So I almost forgot that part. And so repeat. Okay, now I am going to go to this one, and I am going to use the side that says 6 and go in between. And I'm going to go ahead and push that down. Like I said, these are not perfect by any means. I did not measure. I just kind of looked at it and said, this is what I want, after I folded it. And it just worked out, 7, 6. Okay, so, yes, I can see the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. Alright, so, and I believe whatever we make for the middle doesn't need all the extra holes, so it should be fine. Alright, so now I'm going to punch these, and this is easier if you can fold this back, and I'm going to use the 3/8 side now. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, okay. It really got a glare here. I am going to do the try to move this so it's in the right place. Nope, that's not far enough. And then I get that where I can't get it to move. Uh-oh. Let's try that. I'm going to end up eyeballing it, so that's not going to matter. Alright. 1, and then it gets stuck. 2. And Patricia said not to bang it, but the little shad gets stuck in there, so you don't have any choice. Whoa, I really cannot see. I should have used red or something. It's that time of day where my light is not as effective as it should be. What time is it? Oh, it's 2:30. I don't know. It's weird. I guess I'm just not going to worry about it. Just do the best I can. And I am using a putty colored eyelet because it's the one that I don't ever use. And I thought, you know what? I don't have a big enough variety to really go with the you know, using all different ones. I don't have enough. It would be, you know, pretty much all putty and then one of this and one of that. So I decided I'll just use, I think I have about 50 of them, so that should be enough. But, and they're not bad. They're like a, well, they're not really putty. They're gray. They're gray. And I have used some because I had a lot more. So let's do the center one. All right. Get that chat out there. It's stuck. Okay. So this is like the hardest part of the whole process, I guess, is just getting the chat out. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this part. Okay, now we are going to put the eyelets in. I will put all of the eyelets toward the front, or the good side facing the front. That's just how we do it, but I think I'm going to start in the back. So, yeah, that's fine. That kind of brings out the gray and the oxide a little bit too. There's a little bit of coolness. Let's do 3. I don't want to push my luck. And okay, 1 down, 2 to go. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will fast forward this as well. We are finished with our spine. So, all right, and that is it for this video. We've added the eyelets. I am going to be doing the string. I'm not doing the jump rings. I'm going to be doing the string, and I know I have some twine around here somewhere. If I cannot find the twine, then I am going to just use my bookbinding. I've got plenty of that. So, because I just think it looks really cool with the strings, and it's kind of a contrast. So, Let's get that piece off. Yeah, so the thing for me, are you one of those guys that people that, you know, I left this open, that picks on a scab, won't leave it alone? That's going to be this, because you're going to keep being, oh, I can take that piece off, or I can take this piece off, and we may still be picking at it next time. So the next video is the inside cover envelope, and we'll be back to do that. See you next time. Bye now.